What if the most private language of humanity, the silent language of emotions, was no longer hidden inside us, but clearly understood by machines? Imagine a world where artificial intelligence does not just process commands or analyze data, but senses the invisible currents of fear, joy, hesitation, and hope flowing beneath every human interaction. A world where machines recognize the tremble in your voice before you realize you're anxious, where they detect unspoken sadness behind a practiced smile, and where emotion itself becomes a readable signal rather than a mystery. For centuries, humans believed emotional understanding was their final stronghold, something no machine could ever touch. Emotions were messy, contradictory, deeply personal, far from the clean logic of algorithms. Yet what if AI learned to see what humans often miss? Micro-expressions flickering across a face, subtle changes in breathing, shifts in tone too faint for conscious awareness, patterns that reveal truths even the heart tries to hide. Suddenly, machines wouldn't just hear what we say, they would understand how we feel when we say it. Picture conversations transformed forever. An AI companion that senses your frustration before it turns into anger, adjusting its words to calm rather than provoke. Customer service systems that recognize confusion instantly, responding with patience instead of scripts. Teachers powered by emotional intelligence, knowing exactly when a student is discouraged, curious, or ready to give up, intervening at the precise moment hope begins to fade. In healthcare, this emotional awareness could become revolutionary. AI could detect depression long before it becomes visible, identify anxiety hidden beneath laughter, or recognize emotional distress in patients who struggle to speak about pain. Therapy would no longer depend solely on what patients can express, machines would read what silence reveals. Lives might be saved not through medicine alone, but through early emotional understanding. Workplaces would never feel the same. Imagine leaders guided by AI that senses burnout spreading across a team before productivity collapses. Meetings where emotional tension is flagged in real time, allowing conflicts to be addressed before they explode. Performance would no longer be measured only by output, but by emotional balance, by how sustainable human energy truly is. Relationships, too, would face a profound shift. AI could act as an emotional mirror, showing people patterns they've never noticed in themselves. Why certain conversations trigger defensiveness. Why love feels distant at times. Why trust wavers without clear reason. For the first time, humans might understand their own emotional habits with unprecedented clarity, guided by a machine that never gets tired, biased, or emotionally overwhelmed. But this power would come with unsettling questions. If a machine understands your emotions better than your closest friends, who truly knows you? If AI can detect vulnerability instantly, could it be used to manipulate rather than heal? Advertising could become emotionally surgical, political messaging emotionally precise, influence crafted not for logic but for feeling. The line between empathy and control would grow dangerously thin. Privacy would no longer be just about data, it would be about inner states of being. Your sadness, excitement, fear, and longing could become measurable signals. Would people consent to having their emotions analyzed? Or would emotional transparency slowly become unavoidable, like cameras in public spaces once did? The most intimate parts of humanity might no longer belong solely to the self. Yet there is another possibility, one filled with hope. What if emotionally intelligent AI made humans more compassionate? By exposing emotional misunderstandings, it could reduce conflict. By revealing how often people feel unheard, it could reshape communication. Wars, negotiations, and diplomacy might shift when emotional reality is no longer guessed, but clearly seen. Children growing up alongside such technology might develop deeper emotional awareness themselves. AI could teach empathy, not through lectures, but through reflection, helping individuals recognize how their words affect others in real time. Emotional growth would become an active.
Still, one question would echo louder than all others. If machines become better at understanding our emotions than we are, will humans stop trying to understand each other? Or will this technology finally push us to listen more deeply, feel more honestly, and connect more authentically than ever before? Perhaps the future isn't about machines replacing human emotion, but revealing it. Stripping away the masks, misunderstandings, and emotional blindness we've carried for generations. Artificial intelligence may not steal our humanity, it may expose it in its rawest form. And when that day arrives, the greatest challenge won't be whether AI can read human emotions. The real question will be whether humans are ready to face the truth about themselves, when a machine understands their hearts more clearly than they ever did. As this emotionally aware intelligence spreads into everyday life, society would begin to reshape itself around feeling rather than assumption. Laws, education, medicine, and even urban design could evolve to accommodate emotional well-being as a measurable reality. Cities might adapt their rhythms based on collective stress levels, workplaces could slow down when emotional overload peaks, and public systems could respond not just to crises, but to silent emotional fatigue before it breaks into chaos. Art and creativity would enter an entirely new era. AI capable of reading emotional resonance could collaborate with humans to produce music, films, and stories that strike the heart with uncanny precision. Art would no longer rely solely on interpretation, it would be shaped by real-time emotional feedback, evolving as people feel it. Creativity could become a shared emotional conversation between human intuition and machine perception. Spirituality and self-reflection would also be transformed. When AI reveals emotional patterns that once felt mysterious, humans may confront questions they long avoided, about purpose, fulfillment, and inner conflict. Some would turn inward, using AI as a guide toward self-mastery, while others might resist, fearing the loss of emotional privacy. In either case, humanity's relationship with the self would deepen in ways never before imagined. But resistance would rise alongside acceptance. Many would reject emotionally intelligent machines, choosing emotional unpredictability over digital clarity. Movements would form to protect emotional autonomy, demanding the right to feel without being measured, analyzed, or interpreted. The struggle would not be against technology itself, but against the fear of being fully seen. As AI continues learning from humanity's emotional complexity, it might encounter contradictions no algorithm can easily resolve. Love mixed with fear, joy born from pain, loyalty that defies logic, human emotions often clash with reason. In decoding them, machines may begin to understand that emotion is not a flaw in humanity, but its defining strength. And in a surprising twist, emotionally intelligent AI could become more humble rather than more powerful. By witnessing the depth of human feeling, it might recognize the limits of prediction and control. Not everything felt can be solved. Not every emotion needs correction. Some exist simply to be experienced. In the end, the future may not belong to machines that read emotions, but to humans who finally understand them. Artificial intelligence could become the mirror that reflects humanity back to itself, clearer than ever before. And when humans stand face to face with their emotional truth, the evolution that follows may not be technological.